We are taking on one of the most unique park runs that we've ever done. A full 5K on sand, completely barefoot, and parts of the course going straight through waves. This is going to be a tough one. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you everything that you need to know about this park run whilst also trying to achieve my fastest time. So let's get into it. The Beaches Park Run is along Merewether, Dixon Park and Bar Beach, and it is all along the Newcastle coastline in New South Wales, Australia. The park run is a flat one and it can be either 2 or 3 laps depending on the tide, so I'd recommend checking out their Facebook page maybe the day before to see whether it is high or low tide. So if it is low tide, then it'll be just the 2 laps as you're able to run all the way along the beach without any hazards. However, if it is high tide, it'll be 3 laps because one section is cut off by a rocky section, which obviously they're not going to make you climb over the rocks and be hit by waves and stuff. So to make it safe, they have to cut it down to 3 laps. It is 100% on sand too, which is crazy because I've never done one which is on sand, let alone 100% on sand. So you'll have to let me know down in the comments if you know of any other park runs which are 100% on sand. So I recommend wearing barefoot. I don't recommend wearing any shoes because some sections you actually run through the water too. So if you don't want your shoes getting wet, then I'd recommend just going barefoot. However, if you do think that you might hurt yourself if you are going barefoot, then obviously trail shoes are recommended over road shoes. It is also good to know that it starts at 8 AM like all of the other park runs here in Newcastle, and it is also buggy/pram friendly, and I wouldn't like to see anyone try and push a buggy/pram through that sand. It must be pretty difficult if you do take one of those, but dogs unfortunately are not allowed at this park run due to the council regulations, but there are public toilets which are just a less than 5-minute walk from the start up at the Dixon Park Surf Lifesaving Club. So in terms of facilities, this is a pretty good one. In terms of how busy the park run is, there were just 36 runners on the day, and you've pretty much got the whole length of the beach. So in terms of how much space there is no congestion whatsoever throughout the whole of this park run. The scenery though is absolutely stunning. Getting to run alongside the beaches, watching the waves crash into the shore, running through the waves in some sections too, people surfing, sunbathing, so it is a really good atmosphere and a good vibe for a park run. The volunteers were great too. And then in terms of whether you're going to get a PB or not, you are definitely not going to get a PB at this course. We'll have a look at some records a little bit later which are actually insane for this course, but in terms of running on sand, you're not going to go off very quickly. I think some weeks will be easier than others depending on how hard the sand is, whether it's low tide or high tide, but if you're looking for a quick course, this is not the one for it. So now you know a little bit more about this park run, let me take you through a quick summary of the Beaches Park Run course. So you're going to start off here in the centre of the course and head your way towards the south, and then you're going to go all the way back up towards the north, doing U-turns at either end. Unfortunately, because it was high/rising tide today, we had to do 3 laps rather than the 2 longer laps, but you can see in the top left that it's fairly undulating, but it is pretty much all flat. So it's got an elevation gain of approximately 18 meters and a max elevation of around 12 meters. So that is a quick summary of the course, but now let me take you through it in just that little bit more detail. So you're going to start off here in the center of Merewether Beach and head your way towards the southwest. So obviously this is all on sand, and it will be for the rest of the run. You're going to get hit by a couple of waves, but it's just going to knock at your feet. But if you do run higher up, obviously inland, then you're not going to get hit by any waves at all. You'll then do a U-turn once you hit the Merewether Surf House. Now this is probably one of the harder bits because it is in the softer sand, so doing that turn is quite difficult. You'll then head your way up towards the northeast, and so you're still following that beach, getting hit by a couple of waves every so often, but you're now being blinded by the sun too because it is right up in front of you as you're running towards the northeast. And then once you hit this section around here at Kilgore Avenue, you will do your U-turn. Now obviously we did 3 laps a day because it was high tide, so if you are here during low tide and do 2 laps, you'll go all the way up to the Cooks Hill Surf Lifesaving Club instead. But because we did 3 laps, we'll continue with our course today, and then we'll head back all the way towards the southwest, passing where you started, and you'll complete that lap for 3 times. And then once you've done that 3rd lap, instead of going all the way down to the Merewether Surf House, you're going to turn off to the right, close to where you started, and that will be your finish line. And it is a little bit of struggle actually getting to the finish line because it is through that soft sand again. But I have to say, this one is absolutely stunning. There's no chance you're going to go wrong. Just look out for 2 park run flags and just do U-turns around them until you hit that finish line. So overall, this is a really easy park run to follow, and it's a beautiful one too. Now you know what this park run is like. Let me take you through some incredible park run records which have been set here at the Beaches Park Run, and I have to say some of these are incredible. So the fastest male ever at this park run is Nick Earl with a time of 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Now I have no idea how he managed to do that, but it must have been the perfect conditions on the day. The fastest female is Celia Sullivan with a time of 19 minutes and 18 seconds. So again, an incredibly fast time, bearing in mind how difficult this one is. The average number of runners is around 55, so it is a quiet one. We got a little bit lucky that it was even quieter than 55 today, and the average time is around 35 minutes and 33 seconds. So it's a pretty slow one, but that average time is actually quicker than I was expecting it to be. And now, as we always do, we're going to take a look at my overall park run stats. The number of park runs which I've done so far is 114 at 90 different locations. My best finish position was 4th, set at Zielony Jar, Poland and Kangaroo Island in South Australia. The fastest times range from 22:32 down to 23:01, but with today's park run being such a difficult one, I can't see it getting onto this leaderboard. And now we've made it to the best part of this video, so let's get down to event number 526 of the Beaches Park Run, where you can see already that we are walking over along the sand with the sea in the background. Just look at how beautiful this park run looks. It's just absolutely stunning, I have to say. I've never done one on the sand before, but it is deceptively a lot cooler than it looks. So it is about 14-15 degrees right now, even though it looks like the perfect summer's day in the UK. So you can see a few people have got their longer arms and stuff on, and my feet were absolutely freezing at the start of this park run. So do make sure to warm your feet up a little bit before you get onto the sand. You can see some people there putting their feet in the seawater. The seawater was actually warmer than the sand today, so I recommend maybe doing that at the start too. But we're just about to set off in 3, 2, 1, and the park run begins, and you can see it wasn't too congested at the start because you can basically go anywhere along the length of the beach as long as you're doing the U-turn around the flag, which is at the end, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So not too many people ahead of me right now, but it's been a quick start by quite a few of us, a lot quicker than I was expecting to, because obviously it is all on sand, but so far so good. We've not been hit by any waves, but you can see them in the background getting ready to hit us. So you can see there some people sort of curve round to dodge the wave, some people run straight through it, and there we go. There's that first wave which has hit us, slowing us down. You can see the water splashing up in front of the camera. I give it a quick wipe just to make sure that we've not got any water on there, but look at how beautiful that looks. It's just absolutely stunning, Newcastle. So if you do ever visit Sydney, I recommend going up north for a weekend and seeing Newcastle. But so far we're running at around the 5 minutes per kilometre, which is pretty good, bearing in mind this one is all on sand, but I doubt we'll be able to keep up at this pace. But if you are enjoying this video review so far, please do smash that like button and also subscribe if you are new. It goes a long way to supporting the channel, and as we grow we are making better and better videos. Let me know in the comments if you want to see anything else too. But right now we're heading our way all the way down towards that southwest, towards the Merewether Surf House, where we'll be doing that U-turn. And just as we're coming up towards that first half kilometre, we are doing that U-turn around the flag. Now this bit was difficult, and it got harder as the park run went on because it got more and more churned up, so it was harder to run through it. And now you're running against the oncoming traffic, so you don't want to run into them. But you can see that the waves are still hitting towards that right hand side, so you can basically either take almost the shortest route, which is going close to the waves and cutting around the beach, or you can go a little bit further up where it's a little bit more firm on foot, but you are doing an ever so slightly longer route. So it's basically your choice, and it does actually end up to be 5k, so I don't know how they managed to measure this and whether they've got like viewpoints that they use to put the flags at either end. But we're still doing pretty well, running around a 5:15, so we have slowed down a bit, and I knew I wasn't going to get a PB today, so I didn't go all out for it. But you can see we're being blinded right now by the sun as we are making our way back up towards that northwest. Also, you can notice the elevation in that bottom right hand corner going up and down. To be honest, I'm not sure how accurate that is. I didn't remember it being going up and down as much as it is saying. It was pretty flat, and it's sort of all on a little bit of a slant, obviously, as you're running next to the waves. But now we're going to be making our way up towards that northeast side. 1 kilometre into the run, and we ran that one in a time of 5 minutes and 10 seconds. And we just got a couple of snaps too from the run director who was taking photos on the day. We're still making our way up towards the northeastern U-turn, and you can see that we are still being blinded by the sun too. If you do want any more information on my pace, I will leave a little link to my Strava down in the description below, and you can check out all the elevation and the paces from all the park runs which we have done so far. But we're now being overtaken by a couple more, which puts us back into 6th position now. So we were at 4th, but now we've gone back to 6th. So hopefully we don't drop any more positions before the end of the run. But they seem to be going out pretty fast, so fair play to them. We've dropped the pace down to around a 5:20 now, so we are going a little bit slower, but it does get more difficult, I find, as we go further and further north, as the sand feels just that little bit softer. So for most of the run, you find yourself looking for the best bit of sand to run on, so you're sort of going up and down the beach just trying to find the sweet spot. And we are now getting close to that U-turn. So you'll see ahead the rocks. So that is why during the high tide, you obviously can't go any further. And the U-turn is moved closer to around here. So there's that volunteer. Thank you to them. And then we're turning around and heading our way back towards the south. So obviously during low tide, it'll be a little bit further down away from the land. So further outland, is that how you say it? I don't know. But it'll be further away from the land, so that therefore you're able to run around the side. But we've been hit there by another wave, which is definitely going to slow us down, but it is quite nice, to be fair, because the sea was pretty warm, so it warms your feet up, especially with the sand being so cold. But we're still doing quite well, running at around that 5:20, 5:25 pace, so hopefully we can just keep that going. Two kilometres now into the run, and we just did that one in a time of 5 minutes and 24 seconds. So it was a little bit slower than the first one, but that was to be expected. You can see the leaders there on that left-hand side heading their way back up towards the north. So we've completed that first lap and we're into lap 2 at the moment. There's third position running through the waves there. Fair play to them. I don't actually know where the best place to run was, to be honest, whether it was running like slightly through the waves because it's a slightly less of a run to do, or whether it was going where I was running, or whether it was further up. I think the further up you got, the softer the sand was, so it made it harder and harder. We're just trying to dodge a couple of the waves there as we make our way towards the U-turn before heading our way back up towards the north. But you'll have to let us know down in the comment section below, have you ever done a park run where there is a sand section? I know there's ones like Woolacombe Dunes and a couple in Ireland too, but you'll have to let me know which ones you've completed, because the sandy ones are pretty difficult, and you can see just how hard it is and how slow it is to get around the flags in the corner. The pace dropped all the way down to 6 minutes and 5 seconds, but after that we can quickly pick up the pace as we're running head on into the sun again, which isn't ideal. 2.5 kilometres into the run, which means it is half of the run still remaining, keeping it around that 5:20 minute pace. So we're doing quite well at the moment. We're just curving around the side alongside the water, which you can see off to the right. You can see that the condensation on the camera right now making the footage just that little bit blurrier, especially with the bright sun right in front of us, but it is beautiful. Newcastle has been amazing, and we did actually walk all the way from Merewether Beach up to Nobby's Beach, and that was amazing. It's like a 10-12k walk, so we did that the following day when our calves were burning. And at this section here, I can definitely feel the calves are burning as we are making our way up towards that U-turn again. About to get our photos taken, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we can keep at this pace, and I'll be pretty happy with the sub 30, to be honest. But there we go, another wave just hitting us as we make our way towards the north. Almost 3k done. There we go, just hitting that 3 kilometers point, overtaking the tail walkers there before doing that U-turn again and heading our way back down south. So we've almost completed lap number 2. We've got one more lap to go. We ran that last one in a 5:25, so we're able to hold that pace pretty well, and it looks like we're getting ever so much slightly closer to the 2 in front of us. So that's 4th and 5th position there. Hopefully we can keep this up though and not slow off too much, because the calves are burning right now as we head our way back towards the surf house. 1.5 kilometers to go, and we're still running at that 5-minute 25-second pace, so hopefully we can keep that up. We've seen a few people surfing in the distance too as we get hit by a couple of waves there, and it is a really good spot for surfing. The waves looked quite good and they were pretty big, so it made that you could surf pretty well on them, but we're just keeping up to the 2 people ahead of us right now, and hopefully we can keep this pace up for the rest of the run and maybe even get sort of sub 29, sub 28. We will have to see. Got a couple of people heading their way back, the faster runner there on that left hand side, fair play to them. And there's one guy which I've noticed that wins most weeks, so he is the person to try and get past at this park run. But we're doing well at the moment as we head away back towards that U-turn. And so we've just done that final U-turn, and it slowed us down again as we made our way around, dropping down to around a 6-minute per kilometre pace as we did it. It was just churning up more and more at the U-turn, so it made it even harder each lap which you went around it. But now we're heading our way back up towards the north, where we'll do one final U-turn before the sprint towards that finish line. Just hit by another wave there as I'm speaking. 500 meters remain. You can see that the footprints are slightly getting higher and higher as the tide is coming in right now, but we're making our way towards that northern U-turn, still running at a 5:25 pace. So the first kilometre was 5:10, the second was 5:24, the third was 5:25, the fourth was 5:25. So hopefully if we keep this at 5:25, then we have really paced ourselves well. But we're now cutting around the side towards that U-turn, and as we saw a couple of people just finishing a second ago, so fair play to them. I think the quickest time was around 23 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that. So that was pretty impressive, especially for a day like today where the sand wasn't that easy to run on. But we'll do the U-turn in just a sec, and then it'll be our turn to do that sprint finish. So here's the U-turn. One last thank you to that volunteer. Thankfully we're not being blinded as we make our way towards that finish line either, but we've still got that little bit of water / condensation on the front of the camera. I did sort that out, so I'm probably going to take the camera to a DJI shot to see whether the seal's broken or something on the lens. But we're running through the waves again to slow us down that one last time, but can we hold our 6th position? We'll have to see. And we are smashing it right now, picking up the pace as we make our way towards that finish line. It looks like we're going to get under 30 minutes, but will we get under 27 minutes potentially? Let's see. So we're going to turn off onto the slightly harder grass to run on. It is definitely slowing us down. We're going to end up in 6th position, but what time are we going to get? We're going to get a time of 27 minutes on the dot. So unfortunately we just missed out on that sub 27, but I am absolutely buzzing with how we got on just then. I didn't expect to do it that quick whatsoever, and we actually paced ourselves really well as that last kilometre was a 5-minute 25-second one again. But now let me take you through a quick summary of the Beaches Park Run. The Beaches Park Run complete, ticking off the 10th tee on the Alphabet E challenge. So it's annoying that it wasn't a B, to be honest, because we've only done 5 Bs so far, so I wish it was called Beaches instead of the Beaches. In terms of the post-park run stats, let's take a look at those. So the number of park runs increases up to 115, the number of locations increases up to 91, so we're just 9 off of that Explorer 100. My best finish position is still 4th, and my fastest times all remain exactly the same, but that was to be expected with it being such a difficult park run. However, it was definitely worth it. Really enjoyed running along the beach. It was beautiful on the day, and it's a completely different experience to any of the other park runs which I've done so far. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to all of the volunteers. So the run director was great on the day. He was helping me out, telling me all about the park run, where to go for that post-park run coffee, and he was just really friendly, taking some cracking photos too as we made our way around. The assistant run director, I believe, was Sonia, and she helped me out with the emails before I went to the run, telling me about the Facebook channel which they've got, where it tells you the tide so that you know whether it's going to be high tide or low tide. And then the community too were great. So there's obviously quite a lot of locals which go to this one, and they were telling me all about Newcastle. Matt and Karen, big shout out to them too. They both came up to me and spoke to me at the end, and they were really nice and friendly too. So I really enjoyed just how communal this little park run felt. The only thing is now though, I don't think I'm going to be able to walk for the next 3 days because my calves are on fire. So it must be really good calf training. I need to do some more runs on sand because my calves seem to be the weakest point in my legs at the moment. But now I'm going to take you through the all-important pinch points. So these are the points which are going to slow you down and stop you from getting your fastest time. Now these are going to be 3 very unique pinch points too. So number 1 is the fact that it's all on sand. Yes, sand, 100% of it on sand. It is definitely going to slow you down, so you're not going to get a very quick time. Pinch point number 2 is going to be the U-turns. They slow you down even more, especially once it's been churned up after the first couple of laps. Then pinch point number 3 is going to be the waves. So the fact that you're being hit by waves is definitely going to slow you down too. So that is 3 very unique pinch points which you don't see at many other park runs. But if you have any more of your own, then do make sure to let us know down in that comment section below, and I'll try and pin it up to the top so that other people can be wary of them. And now I'm going to take you through the all-important tips and tricks on how to get to this park run and where to go for that all-important post-park run coffee and cake. Starting off with the closest train station, which is Newcastle Interchange. Now it is a 47-minute walk from there, so I think it's a little bit far from the park run, to be honest, so I wouldn't recommend getting here via train. And then in terms of the closest bus stop, the closest one is the Watkins Street and Burner Street stop, which is just a 5-minute walk from the start line, and it takes both of these 2 buses listed up here. But if I were you, I'd just look on the day on Google Maps and see which is the quickest mode of public transport for you to take to get to the park run. And then if you are looking to get here via car, there are a few different car parks which you can go to. They do fill up a little bit, especially during the summer months when there's people wanting to go down to the beach nice and early. But the best spots are the Dixon Park Beach car park and also the Surf Life Saving Club and Ocean Street, where they've got bay parking all around there. There's obviously street parking too, and it is all completely free, which is great news for if you're wanting to come down to this park run, as the park run itself isn't too busy, but obviously the beach in the summer is going to be pretty popular, so that's when it gets a little bit busier. And then finally, where does everyone head for that all-important post-park run coffee and cake? Well, everyone heads over to the Dixon Park Surf Life Saving Club, which is just a 5-minute walk from the finish line. Well, it's probably less than 5 minutes, to be honest, and everyone heads over there. Unfortunately, on the day, we didn't actually have time to go over there, as we already had breakfast booked with family somewhere else, so unfortunately we didn't get to go over, but everyone was really nice, so I do recommend going over if you do have the time to. And so that is it for the Beaches Park Run, and if you have enjoyed this one, I highly recommend going and checking out last week's, which was over at Auburn Botanic Gardens Park Run, which is one of the newest park runs in the Sydney area. So decent one as well if you are looking for a PB, so going back and check that one out. Or you can go and check out all of my other park runs in the worldwide park run playlist, which has them from all over Europe, Asia and Australia too. And if you have got this far, I'd really appreciate it if you did smash that like and subscribe button. It goes a long way to supporting this channel. Right now, there's about 80% of you who are not subscribed. So if all of you subscribe too, we could create a bigger, better community, and hopefully my videos are getting better as the weeks go on. And you can let me know down in that comment section below if there's anything you wish for me to improve on. I'm not sure where we're going to be heading next week, but it's likely to be either Greenway or Paramount, which is both quite flat and fast park runs. So fingers crossed we can get a decent time, which could maybe go on to that leaderboard. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next week with another park run video.